In January 2023, she had $67,000 in debt and a take-home pay of roughly $3,400 per month. By March 2025, 26 months later, the balance was zero. Every account cleared. No debt except the mortgage she did not have yet. This is that story, with every number that made it possible. A quick note, this is a composite case study. It is built from real debt payoff accounts shared publicly, financial coaching case notes, and documented examples, not a single individual. The numbers are real and realistic. The techniques are verified. Nothing here is theoretical. Here is exactly what the debt stack looked like at the start. Student loans, $38,000. Federal loans at interest rates ranging from 4.8% to 6.5%, accumulated over 4 years of a state university nursing degree. Income-driven repayment would have stretched this to 10 years and cost an additional $14,000 in interest. Car loan, $14,000 remaining. 72-month loan originally taken out on a 2021 Honda Civic, purchased at the height of the used car market. Interest rate, 9.4%. Payment, $390 per month. Credit cards, $15,000 across 3 cards. Chase Sapphire at 21.99%. A store card at 27.99%. Capital One at 24.49%. Minimum payments across all 3 totaled $450 per month. Total debt, $67,000. Take-home pay, $3,400 per month from a full-time nursing job. Monthly minimum debt payments, $890. After minimum payments and basic living expenses, money left over, approximately $200 per month. That $200 was not going to pay off $67,000 in any reasonable time frame. Something had to change. The first step was a complete and honest budget audit. Not an estimate, an actual line-item review of every dollar from the prior 3 months of bank statements. What she found was uncomfortable. Between subscriptions, dining out, random online purchases, and miscellaneous spending, she was leaking approximately $800 per month to discretionary expenses she could not name without checking her statements. She cut to survival mode. Not forever, for a defined sprint. The new budget looked like this. Rent, shared apartment with a roommate, $750. Groceries, $200. Utilities and phone, $150. Transportation, gas only, no eating out, no coffee shops, $120. Health insurance and medical, $180. Minimum debt payments, $890. Total fixed commitments, $2,290. That left $1,110 per month after fixed costs. Every dollar of that $1,110 was assigned to debt. No exceptions. No vacation fund. No fun money category beyond a $75 personal spending allowance she kept to preserve sanity. The roommate decision alone freed $600 per month compared to a solo apartment. She also canceled all streaming subscriptions except one. Meal prepped on Sundays. Stopped ordering anything online unless it was a genuine necessity. None of this was glamorous. All of it was temporary. She was clear with herself, 24 months of this, then life looks different. The debt payoff method was the avalanche, not the snowball. Here is why that distinction mattered in this case. The snowball method pays off the smallest balance first regardless of interest rate. It provides quick psychological wins. The avalanche method pays off the highest interest rate first regardless of balance size. It saves the most money mathematically. For her situation, the credit card at 27.99% was the priority regardless of balance. Here is the math. The $3,500 balance on the store card at 27.99% was costing her roughly $80 in interest per month. The student loans at 4.8% on the same balance would cost $14 per month. Same dollar, wildly different cost. Avalanche order, highest to lowest rate. 1. Store card, 27.99%, $3,500 balance. 2. Capital One, 24.49%, $5,000 balance. 3. Chase Sapphire, 21.99%, $6,500 balance. 4. Car Loan, 9.4%, $14,000 balance. 5. Student Loans, 4.8% to 6.5%, $38,000 balance. She made minimum payments on everything except the top priority. All extra money hit the top of the list. When it was paid off, that freed minimum payment got stacked onto the next one. That is the Avalanche in practice. At month 2, she added a side income stream. As a nurse with a bachelor's degree, she had skills she could monetize beyond her day job. She registered as a tutor on Wizant and also offered exam prep tutoring for nursing students taking the NCLEX, the nursing licensure exam. Hourly rate, $45 per hour. Hours per week, 8 to 12, scheduled on days off and evenings. Monthly gross from tutoring, approximately $1,440 at 8 hours per week. Self-employment tax, 15.3%, approximately $220. Net after self-employment tax, roughly $1,220 per month. She directed 100% of tutoring income to debt. Not 90%. Not 80%. All of it. Combined with her $1,110 monthly surplus from the regular budget, she was now throwing $2,330 per month at debt. At month 6, she made a second major decision: she sold the car. The 2021 Civic still had $13,200 of loan balance. She sold it for $15,800, still above water at that point in the used car market. After paying off the loan balance, she netted $2,600. She bought a 2015 Toyota Corolla with 68,000 miles for $9,200 in cash. A family member co-signed a short 12-month personal loan for the Gap. She paid that off in 8 months. Eliminating the $390 car payment and replacing it with zero added $390 per month to her debt payoff rate. That single decision shortened her timeline by approximately 4 months. Let me give you the timeline. Month 1 to 3, store card fully paid off, $3,500 gone. Monthly interest savings, $80. Feeling, not dramatic. The mountains still looked the same. Month 4 to 7, Capital One card cleared, $5,000 eliminated. Stacked minimum payment now freed $600 per month more. Momentum beginning. Month 8, car sold. Corolla purchased. Net gain applied to Chase Sapphire card. Month 9 to 13, Chase Sapphire card cleared. All credit card debt, zero. This was the emotional pivot point, $15,000 of credit card debt gone. All high interest debt eliminated. Total monthly interest burden dropped from $340 to under $80. Month 14 to 20, a full focus on student loans. Rate was lower but balance was the largest. Still throwing $2,300 to $2,500 per month at it. Tutoring income ebbed some months to $800 but never stopped entirely. Month 21 to 24, loan balance below $10,000. For the first time, she could see a fixed endpoint. The psychological weight began to lift. Month 25 to 26, final $4,800 wiped out in 2 months. Final payment, March 2025. The numbers are the skeleton. The psychology is where the plan almost collapsed 3 times. Month 4, a friend's wedding. Destination, expensive. The social pressure to spend on travel, accommodations, and gifts nearly derailed the budget. She went and negotiated a carpooling arrangement, stayed in the cheapest Airbnb, gave a modest cash gift. Managed the event for $380 when peer pressure would have pushed it to $1,200. Month 11, job exhaustion. Working full-time nursing shifts and tutoring 10 hours per week was grueling. She nearly quit the side hustle. She negotiated instead, dropped from 10 hours per week to 6, accepted a slower payoff timeline, and avoided burnout. Month 16, Comparison Trap. A coworker bought a new car. Instagram was full of vacation photos. The discipline required to maintain the budget while watching peers spend freely is consistently underestimated. She leaned on a small online accountability group, 3 other people in debt payoff mode she found through a Reddit community. Accountability changed everything. Having people to report to who understood the goal, not family members who thought she was being extreme, made the difference between continuing and quitting. 3 things she said she would change. First, start the side hustle in month 1, not month 2. Waiting cost her approximately $1,200. Inertia is expensive. Second, sell the car earlier. She waited until month 6. Had she done it in month 2, she would have saved 4 months of $390 payments. An extra $1,560 in payoff momentum early in the timeline, when it matters most for morale. Third, skip the income-driven repayment application she filed in year 1 of the loans. She spent time applying for IDR, which briefly lowered her minimum payment, then switched back to standard repayment when she committed to aggressive payoff. That administrative cycle cost her 6 weeks of focus. Here is the distilled framework. 1. Calculate the real damage. List every debt, balance, interest rate, and minimum payment. Total it. Confront it. You cannot fix what you will not look at. 2. Build a survival budget. Not a comfortable budget, a temporary sprint budget. Every non-essential dollar becomes a debt payment. 3. Sequence by interest rate. Highest rate first. Make minimum payments on everything else. Stack freed minimums as accounts close. 4. Increase income. 1 hour of high-skilled tutoring at $45 per hour beats 5 hours of delivery gig work at $12 per hour after expenses. Match the hustle to your existing skills. 5. Make the uncomfortable structural decision early. In her case, it was the car. In yours, it might be the rent, the roommate situation, or the subscriptions. The structural decisions, the ones you resist because they feel like sacrifice, are almost always the ones that change the timeline by 6 to 12 months. 26 months. $67,000. No inheritance, no windfall, no salary jump. A plan, a sprint budget, an uncomfortable decision about a car, and enough accountability to stay consistent when it got hard. The math is available to almost anyone. The execution is available to fewer. The gap between those 2 things is always psychology, not numbers. Word count, 1/340 iteration, 10-minute end card. Next video, the Roth IRA mistake costing you $300,000.